folks. Before we go on, I just want to check on some sports stats, keep myself sharp here on the sports, and I'll use my computer and just go in here, and I'm going to check. Okay.
Mary Dipmas. My name's Dave. Welcome to Too Much Dip. I'm gonna go ahead.
Dipmas.
Why?
You could have said Dipmas.
That's what I said.
I thought you said Dripmas.
What did I say?
You said Dipmas.
Are you sure?
1,000.
Oh, I might have said Dipmas. But to all of our dippers out there, Mary Dipmas to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna do something a little bit differently today. I'm gonna intro KJ first, and I would just like for him to explain himself. What happened?
Well, as you know, today is the day where I am absolutely enhanced.
Why are you even here?
It's superhero or superpower day for me, David. But I've told people this before that I keep that thing wet. I am Aquaman. I tried to have a little bit of water before this show, and you can't just. I'm already saturated.
Yeah, man.
Just poured it all over me.
Aquaman.
I assume that you're going to be operating at a very high level on this pod. Like, not to set the bar very high for you, but
11 of 10 day for me, man. 11 of 10.
you came in hot this morning.
I cannot overstate how good of a day it's been.
Micah, how's your day?
My day's great. How was y'all's weekend?
Fantastic. You want to do this weekend in fun?
No, I just want to tell you about my Saturday. Just making TikTok videos on a Saturday. This is probably Insta's first 120 FPS video too. Found a way to shoot that in that frame rate. Iconic and innovative. Star emoji, heart emoji, star emoji, party emoji.
That dude is obsessed with like the latest technology.
With video quality, yeah.
Yeah, obsessed with it. And audio quality.
Well, he's iconic and innovative.
There's no doubt. It's great to be back with you guys.
Mary Dipmas.
Merry Dipmas to you, Dave.
This one's for Dippy.
Well, it is.
The Dip Man.
Gene loved
Do we
it.
have a stocking for Dippy?
Yeah, it's hung.
Dippy doesn't play that shit.
I've heard that.
We need a Dippy topper.
Is he a Jehovah's Witness or?
Oh, that's true. A Dippy tree topper would be.
Just an iconic cartoon chip with too much dip on it.
10 of 10 tree for sure.
Last but not least, the tree man himself.
Ooh.
Everybody's favorite.
Right as the tummy does a little grumble.
Guys, it's Dylan Shivery.
Hello, David and KJ and Micah. Very happy to be here.
Mary Dipmas to you.
With you fine gentlemen.
Dylan, Mary Dipmas.
Mary Dipmas, David. Damn it. I heard you
I'll
the first
fucking
6
say
times.
it back if you mean it.
Stupid jerk.
This fucking guy.
Yeah, man. Very happy to be here. Ready to talk sports. Or anyway, whatever else y'all want to get into, really.
I want to get into what KJ rolled into the studio with this morning.
You came in with a new, KJ, what happened?
So, again, it is Black Superpower Day. I figured I'd take that one opportunity that I had, or this one opportunity, to make a phone call. So I called Black Santa. The one, the only, the one that I appreciate and recognize. Not sure who you guys have sat on laps for years. Kind of weird, but never seen kids cry on Black Santa's lap. Find me one photo. So I called him and said, "Hey, what's up, man? Been going through some things like most of us here in 2020, but your boy's really hoping to cop an Xbox Series X for Christmas." And he was like, "Hey, you know what? They're unavailable till April, but today I got you." And so I stopped at Target and I was like, "Hey, Black Santa sent me, and your boy acquired an Xbox."
He
It'll be
literally
under the
rolled
tree.
in with a. What? Can I ask why you had a cooler bag?
That's Costco related.
Okay.
As you know, you don't have bags at Costco, so it just helps carry things into the house.
Cooler bag, the exact dimensions of a brand new Xbox.
It was like
box.
it was perfectly fit for
It is
said Xbox.
an absolute Dipmas miracle.
Superpower.
Wow.
Too icy.
Merry Dipmas to you.
Thanks, Dippy.
What percentage of our listeners are not online enough to understand Black Superpower Day?
I hope a lot.
Well,
Because-
25% of the people that host this podcast would be included in that.
Yeah,
so
Micah didn't know.
You're not online enough.
I guess not. Need to spend more time online.
Twitter is it's very entertaining today.
When people like start predicting like, oh, tomorrow's going to be an all-time Twitter day, you're usually like, okay, fine. This one, they were right.
Yeah.
It's
It's
very
just delivering.
It really is. It's
Like-
bringing us a lot of joy.
I saw the Yahoo Navy Day. You're not going to shock me. And then you get today.
Yeah.
And it's another one.
So to be clear, your superpower is your ability to find hard-to-find Christmas items.
My superpower is the ability to leverage my relationship with Black Santa to acquire said
Okay.
a hard-to-find
It's
electronics.
a very specific superpower.
It is. It is. I'm going to also leverage that same power to see if I can't offload an Xbox One later on this afternoon. 'Cause, can't have too much tech.
Yeah,
You might as well ride this wave, man.
things are looking
you
up for
can.
KJ.
Yeah, it's a good one.
He's got a QZ on, SMU QZ.
Little Patrick. No, it's Peter. It's definitely Peter, not Patrick Millar.
Patrick Millar, old Patty Mills.
That's his brother.
Patty Mills.
That's actually the gear that you buy at Costco.
Exactly. The Kirkland brand.
Before we get into it, everybody do us a favor. Check out Too Much Dip with 2 P's on Twitter. That's Too Much Dip, 2 P's. And Too Much Dip Podcast on Instagram. I think if you go there, you'll find a lot of content that might be relevant to you. How about that?
It's fair
Did
to
you guys
say.
see the content over the weekend?
I always see the
I
content.
think a lot of people got some laughs out of it. People were like side texting me like, dude, you're crushing. I'm like, it's not me. They're like, no, we know it's you. It's very clearly you. So, yeah, it's me for now. We'll see what happens in 2021. Also, subscribe, leave a review. We've got our Thursday. Oh, we don't have our Thursday live stream. It's Christmas Eve.
No Thursday night.
Yeah, I know. Tuning into that.
What if somebody wants to get a little liquored up, a little too much eggnog, and just go live?
Too much nog.
Too much nog.
Let's leave that up to you.
It doesn't have to be me, Dylan. You can do this
think
as
you
well.
should.
It's your Dipmas.
I think you should.
Okay.
Some might say we could go live from Verdansk. Who knows?
Do I need to bring my Xbox home?
That is between you and the wonderful women of your life.
Bring the Twitch situation home.
I'm not twitching from my parents' house. Dude, no, my dad would. No,
He ain't about that life.
no, I'm not. That is too. I promise you, there's too many variables involved in that situation.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
bring it to the ranch. Oh, you're not going to the ranch.
I'll
But
be
next
here,
time
man.
you go to the ranch, bring it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not strong internet out there.
Hey, if you guys like fun gear and you want to support the Dippy movement, check out our Washed Media shop. Go to washedmedia.shop. We've got gear on there. You can buy a Too Much Dip golf towel.
Seeing shipping confirmations going out day by day.
I'm waiting on mine. I've got a Dippy golf towel headed my way. Very excited for it.
Nice.
So check it out, washedmedia.shop. Ladies and gentlemen, would you like to talk some NFL football?
Let's do it.
Turn it up.
We had Saturday football. How about that?
It's that time of year, man.
I kind of forgot about it until the live stream. We didn't have anything too fun. We had a Josh Allen performance for the ages, but, it was nice to have something to watch other than college football on Saturday.
Which, I guess, what did you go with? Because there were a slew of options. Obviously, we're talking Josh Allen. They played the Broncos, I believe. And then there was the SEC game. And then, of course, the AAC game, which I was tuned into for the most part. But I did check back in on Josh Allen just absolutely demolishing the Broncos.
Yeah, it's must-see TV. We've said that before. He's a wild ride, but he was pretty dialed. I don't think he had any missteps.
Can we count this as a hometown game for him? I mean, technically the closest team for him.
Where's he from?
Wyoming.
I know
is
he
from
played
there?
at Wyoming.
Yeah,
I have no
don't
idea
know.
where he's from, to be honest.
He's a mountain boy, though.
Yeah.
What's his deal, like personality-wise? Is he cool?
I don't think he's on the spectrum.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Just confirming.
We don't have Thursday night football this week. Sorry, now I'm skipping ahead to the look
Yeah,
ahead.
That's okay.
But we do have a Christmas Day game.
Wait,
Friday.
what? For NFL?
Yeah.
Who?
Vikings at Saints.
Really?
See if the
kidding.
Saints can bounce back. Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Is this a first?
I mean, I've got to imagine it's the first Friday night Christmas game. I'm sure they've had Sunday games, but
I thought the NBA had
the NFL
strong-armed
just
this
relentless. The NFL gets strong armed by no one.
Remember when a few years ago when they expanded the amount of games and Mark Cuban had a quote, it's like fat pigs get slaughtered,
Pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered.
hogs get slaughtered. And
Look at
it
the
was,
NFL. Yep.
and now it seems like he was way off because they have not gotten slaughtered. In fact, they've only gotten stronger, and this is even after, I guess half the country boycotted them.
Bitches love bacon.
It's true.
And continuing the look ahead, there's 3 Saturday games this week. So up against the mediocre bowl games we'll talk about later. Bucks, Lions, 49ers, Cardinals, Dolphins, Raiders. Dolphins, Raiders, pretty good game. The other two were...
It's a public service you're doing here for all of those similar to myself and maybe in a fantasy football championship. It's a
You
good
got to be
reminder.
plugged in on Friday this week.
I appreciate
That's
that.
what we're learning.
Did y'all see any of the Green Bay game?
I did not.
A little bit.
Aaron Rodgers still cooking. Carolina came back a little bit in the second half, but it made it a game.
They have all the hallmarks of a well-coached team.
Well, they're now looking for a new general manager because they fired theirs
Yeah.
today.
That seemed a little strange to you. Like you've got a new coach, you've got a. I mean, you don't have
Seems
your
a little
quarterback yet,
strange. If they're going to let Rule have major input on who they bring in and let him sort of run the thing in a cooperative situation, then it's probably a good move. But it does seem a little weird.
because I think they just brought him in when they got the new owner after Jerry Richardson's situation.
I don't know how long. This is sort of an older general manager. I forget the guy's name, but
Okay.
it may be a retirement situation for him. Who
Do you
knows?
think it changed when it became pretty evident that they weren't going to get a top 3 pick or even a top 1 pick? Like, because they've overperformed this year, I think.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah.
They got 4 wins on the year, so they're certainly a team that in my head, like if they're playing, I'm like, all right, they're gonna be competitive. They might win that game. They end up losing, but again, Matt Rule's kept them in every game that they play, which is exactly what you want to see from a team that's without their big superstar and like just waiting the year out.
Yeah. Early games yesterday. Oh, we had the boys at noon. They got bumped. Was last night when they got bumped?
Yeah, we can talk about it last. We should talk about the other games
You
first.
don't want to talk boys?
No.
Why? It's
I think the Bucks Falcons might be more notable.
Yeah, that was fun. They overcame a 17-0 deficit, beat the Falcons 31-27. Dude, Atlanta
Of course,
just cannot.
of course, it's the Falcons. They get Tom Brady again.
Not that it even matters for them because they're not in contention in any fashion. But God, that's demoralizing.
You want a stupid stat about Atlanta? Since Tom Brady came back on them the last time, they are now 28-34 since their collapse in the Super Bowl, where they lost 28-34.
That is an amazing, ironic note.
Isn't that stupid?
I saw.
Okay. You're saying their total record since
Correct.
the game is 28-34. Oh, I like that.
I saw
Atlanta fans are cursed. I
a
think.
good tweet earlier. It was 2 pictures of Tom Brady, one from that Super Bowl and one from this game. He had the same like slunk over, like head down look as they were losing in each one. And it says something like, if he does this against,
Against
bad
Atlanta,
shit's about to happen to
It's
you.
definitely going to get ugly.
It's the opposite Derek Carr. It's the anti-Derek Carr bench work.
Tough break for him. But yeah, impressive win. We saw Antonio Brown get in the end zone. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe this team is. They've been so shaky this year. I have a hard time considering them a contender, but the NFC is pretty open. I mean, don't tell me the Bucs can't beat Green Bay 3 out of 10 times.
Yep.
And if they get them on the right Sunday, there's no reason they can't be there.
Someone that will not be there is the New England Patriots, who were eliminated after the Dolphins 22-12 over them. That was one that I was watching. Fantasy implications. Being in the playoffs kind of ruins my football watching experience because I'm in a bad mood half the time, and then I'm in like an overly good mood for about 10 minutes, and then it goes away real quick, and you're just watching percentages. It's a lot like watching election returns, honestly. But yeah, that was a fun one. Dolphins are good.
What happens with Cam next year?
I was going to ask that tied with Matt Ryan. Like, obviously Cam's going to be elsewhere. Do you think Matt Ryan will also be elsewhere?
I don't know Matt Ryan's contractual situation because obviously Cam's on a 1-year deal. I think it's pretty obvious that he's not going to be the long-term answer at quarterback for the Patriots.
So with Cam, do you think he is in a position where he could start, or do you think he waits it out and doesn't sign anywhere?
I think he goes the way of Jameis. He becomes a backup somewhere, but like a viable backup option for somebody.
I don't know where he could possibly start and make any kind of a difference.
The other scenario is he signs another 1-year deal with New England. They draft a quarterback, and he kind of rides the ship for a year. I don't know.
Matt Ryan will be back. Holy shit!
Yeah, Matt Ryan has big contract stuff.
I
right?
thought we were a year further. They have a potential out in 2022 where dead cap would only be $26 million only. If Matt Ryan were to get cut today, dead cap would be $75 million.
Okay,
Next
so
year,
Matt Ryan's coming back.
$50 million. So yeah,
Get
he
your
will be
season
back.
tickets now.
How old's Matt Ryan?
Age.
36?
He is 35. Very
35.
close. Very
Okay.
close. So yeah, Cam. I don't know, because that's essentially what he was doing this year. Waited until he found an opportunity to quote unquote bet on himself, shoot a bunch of badass Under Armour commercials, get everybody hyped, look okay, and then it kind of fizzled out. But I also truly believe, similar to I don't think Carson Wentz is good. I won't say that. But similar to how I think it's difficult to tell what a quarterback is going to do for the Eagles right now, Tom Brady left the Patriots because that team is shit. The line's okay at best, but none of their wide receivers are worth a damn. Julian Edelman included at this point in his career. None of their running backs are producing. You have nothing to deal with there, and Cam needs more than what they have in New England. So
A number of their best defensive players opted out also.
that as well. So always in a shit position.
That brings up Belichick too. What is he going to stick around for this very sub-mediocre team?
I mean,
Is he a rebuild guy?
No.
he's the one who fucked up and cleared the cupboard. It's on him at this point.
Well, apparently, they do have a lot of cap room going into next season. They had none this year, but
Yeah.
next season they can go out and sign some free agents. I don't know.
Make
They-
a play for Wentz?
I think they got to find a quarterback. I don't think that's the answer.
That is more of the flavor of Boston.
He could, dude. Belichick could turn Wentz into something,
Yeah.
right? I don't know how it would get done logistically, and if it's not a smart move, but weirder things have happened.
The fact that Andy Dalton isn't there still blows my mind.
New England?
That made more sense to me than anything in this offseason. Andy going there, with the exception of Dalton coming to Dallas just because his family was already in Texas, and they could stay put during these uncertain times. So
How about if Cam just goes Jay Cutler and just retires, hangs out on a beach, and then waits for somebody's quarterback to get hurt in the third preseason game and signs a $10 million deal?
I forgot
Because that would
Cutler
be
did that.
that's got to be best case scenario. I'll come back for one more year.
Unless he really wants to go
Take 10.
to Seattle, I don't see a team that would be able to take on that ego in the locker room and it just work. And I would be down for some Cam and Russell buddy cop content.
Oh boy.
Dude, Cam's so much cooler than Russ.
I don't know. This could be a Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Kevin Hart type situation.
Okay.
I have an announcement.
Yes.
I've totally forgotten to do any run it back so far. We're
Only
Pick it up
18
now.
minutes in.
we're
Pick it up
18
now.
minutes in, so we may be a little bit late.
We're gonna start
KJ got an Xbox.
We'll start
And
with
he has
that.
superpowers.
We're gonna start
His superpowers.
DIYing run it back for the people at home. Be like, you send us your run it back, and then Michael will read it.
How would that even work?
It'll be an episode late.
Okay. Titans over the Lions. Watched none of that. Colts. The Texans, dude. They had a chance.
What, the Texans?
Yes.
They don't want to win. You
It's
don't want them to win.
unbelievable.
They
Playoff
just keep
implications for so
fumbling
many
inside the
teams.
5-yard line, basically. Isn't that what happened again this week? They're
Yes.
going in for a score, down a score. They did this 2 weeks ago, or what? Or was it last week? They fumbled inside the 5.
They want to make sure Miami has a good pick.
Yeah, it's not like they own their
Oh
own.
my God.
Yeah.
Everything's looking Miami.
Oh, that brings me joy when I think about that.
I just, it makes me as a Houston sports hater, yes, but at the same time, as a Deshaun Watson guy, I don't like.
Oh, I love
they're just
Deshaun.
ruining the guy.
I love Deshaun. I hate the Texans. So I there are brief moments I'm like, man, they keep losing. Their draft pick's just going to be bomb. Oh wait, they don't have a draft pick.
They don't
in the
have
first
one.
round.
Very tough.
And it
scene.
brings me joy again.
And
I love it.
and you know what? It's becoming a routine that every Sunday at some point, Bill O'Brien is trending.
Oh, no.
And yes, it's usually when there's a sick Hopkins catch, which there was yesterday. And I'm like, yep. What did I miss?
Oh yeah, the Bill O'Brien slander is it won't go away for a while, but it's gonna be pretty thick until the next draft.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy.
Seahawks over the Washington football team. Closer than I thought it'd be, although it is the Seahawks, they tend to play close games, or at least the ones when I bet on them and lose. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess what's the story on Alex Smith?
I don't know
Calf?
how long he's going to be out, but yeah, it's a lower leg injury. Calf is what they're saying. Haskins threw the ball 50 times. I think he had just shy of 300 yards. So, if on one hand that's wildly inefficient, on the other hand you're like, 300 yards could be a good day. I think the bigger surprise for me was that defense gave up like almost 200 yards rushing to the Seahawks. So they did an effective job at containing Russ. I think DK Metcalf maybe had 40 yards.
3 catches, basically. Yeah.
So he had a very subpar day. I don't know. We're going to get to the Cowboys here in a second, but for Washington to clinch, they basically have to win and then have the Giants lose, correct? I think that's who's in there. I don't see Washington winning 2 games. I don't know who they have left. I think
they got
play
Carolina.
and then they have the Giants.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Daniel Jones will be back by that final game, and they're not going to beat that Giants team without Alex Smith back, which is just bizarre to say.
Yeah, that's insane.
Washington is. I have these scenarios here. Washington is still in first place.
Mm-hmm.
They can eliminate the Cowboys with a win in Week 16. Yep. And the Cowboys, which I guess we might as well go there.
They need both the Giants and Washington.
They're only a game out, shockingly, but need Washington to lose both of their last 2 games. And the Cowboys have to win their last 2, including one against they face the Eagles and Giants.
I think they need the Giants to lose some too, right? Or is it just
Well,
Washington?
They would have to beat the
they
Giants.
just have to beat the Giants.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Here's a sneaky pick. I like the Eagles to win this division because here's what the Eagles have to do. They have to win out against the Cowboys and Washington, and don't tell me they can't win both those games. And then they need 2 losses from the Giants and 2 losses from Washington. The Giants have to place the Ravens and Cowboys. That could be 2 losses. And Washington, as we mentioned, Panthers at Eagles.
It's going to be a shit show. I do like how the NFL's done their division scheduling for the last several years.
At the end of the season, yeah, it's
when
smart.
they double up though. Like they've had situations where you won't play a division opponent until Week 14, and then you play them again in Week 16 or whatever. And I'm like, all right, don't do that, but definitely keep that final week of division games for sure.
Jalen Hurts emerging as the conference-winning quarterback of this division, or division-winning, is not something I could have foreseen.
No, I wouldn't have seen that coming.
Yeah, pretty well.
Well, he's average at best, though, from what some people on Twitter
he's
said.
absolutely balling. It's a small sample size. That dude is absolutely balling. It's crazy.
Yeah, he looked really good yesterday.
He did.
I don't know what that's going to look like next year. Get a little. The cliche is, we'll get some tape on him, but he seems to have a situational awareness that Carson Wentz did not. When a play breaks down or when the pocket collapses, he's really good.
And it's not even escapability that Carson Wentz doesn't have. Carson Wentz is very athletic and very capable. Maybe he's a little more hobbled than he was, his rookie year.
Carson Wentz's brain is functioning at a much slower
He's
pace.
not optimized.
It's really weird.
Is he post-vid? Did he have COVID early this year? I don't remember seeing him on any lists, but if he had in the offseason or something, him and Zeke
But he started to.
him and Zeke need to go on tour and say, hey, it takes a while to get back.
His game started to deteriorate last season, though.
He's been shit for a couple of years.
It's
I'm
really-
just throwing shit out there.
It's really strange, actually.
Hurts deserves a lot of credit, though. As Dave mentioned, they'll get tape on him. School of thinking is exactly what I said last week, and but they did not run the football the way that they came with a totally different offense this week. He threw the ball and threw it effectively, so shouts to him.
Carson Wentz did not have COVID, so he was not a branch COVIDian. But he does. Apparently, he's starting to get some behind the scenes. He's not happy about how his team has handled this whole thing.
Saw that headline today.
Is anyone surprised by this narrative from him? There's probably some problematic reasons for this assumption, but I don't know that I would have pinned him for guy that's going to leak negative lines into the media.
Don't you kind of
But I
have
don't
to
know who
do
his
that,
agent
though?
is.
As
I
a
don't know
very-
his personality.
As a very well-paid former starting quarterback who's still, not aging and, like to like maintain your value, don't you have to kind of be like, if I'm not starting here, I want to go somewhere where I can start, or else you're just basically accepting a backup role, and it's like,
Or you're Marcus Mariota.
yeah.
I think that's the only comp of like starter who began to get outplayed, took it really well, and then just kind of quietly moved on.
I didn't know he was with Oakland, right?
Yeah.
Or Vegas.
Well, you would have thought it was Oakland
until he took the field like last week, I guess.
looking at Gruden's hat on Thursday.
Yeah.
I want a dude who takes the Kyle Fitzpatrick approach. Like when Tua got named starter, and he didn't like throw Tua under the bus.
What about Ryan?
What?
You said Kyle Fitzpatrick.
Kyle Fitzpatrick is a guy I went to high school with.
I
Oh my
figured it
God.
was a personal connection
That's
of some
insane.
sort.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, man, and no one knows that person. Okay, no, like he was like, no, I'm not happy, but it is what it is.
Wentz is a
That's
high
the
draft
attitude
pick.
I want.
High draft pick guy, has a huge contract, had MVP, buzz just a few years ago. You can't just be like, yeah, I'll settle into the backup role. You kind of have to say something,
That's true. I mean, you want your money and you want to be able to play. I don't see where Cam or Wentz end up that's going to be productive without some very creative offensive coordinator and capable like quarterback coach. Like wherever Eric Bieniemy ends up, like send them there, or send both of them to Washington for first second. We'll see what happens there. But you know who is cooking? The Ravens. Boy, are they! They did great. They demolished the Jaguars.
Yes.
Can't be happier.
Threw up
Most
the X.
importantly,
Dude,
we are 20% there.
that's why you got this pep in your step.
Wait,
not the
20%?
I know
Superpowers.
I believe the bet was 1.5,
Oh,
and I had the under.
and I upped it to 5. I said Dez would get 5 touchdowns on the year.
Well,
We're 1
I'll
of 5.
still take that bet, but shouts to Dez.
This is one thing I will very gladly be wrong on. I didn't think he was going to catch even one touchdown pass this year.
Yeah.
Love to see that for the guy,
You know
especially
what?
after what happened to him. Was it last week against
COVID,
the Cowboys?
couple
and
weeks
he
ago,
couldn't-
yeah.
Oh my God.
Well,
2 weeks ago.
he Twitter retired.
I felt so bad for that dude,
all been
man.
there.
He's, it's Dez.
You know what? One time for Dippy. Throw it up. Thank you.
Shouts East Texas.
I'm happy for him, man.
Of course.
I'm not
Of
going to
course.
buy a jersey, but I am happy for him.
Absolutely. Good for him.
If he gets to 5, I will buy a jersey.
he got a big bear hug from Harbaugh after that one too. It was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
He just seems like the kind of dude. I think he seems like who he is when he talks to the media, like absolutely authentically like him, as far as like he's 100% emotion at all times, but not always necessarily in a bad way. But that emotion can run a little hot, as we saw with the Twitter retirement. So to see somebody like that win, who just cares and who just wants positive things for like his team and the people around him, like that's a good vibe. So also DeSoto resident still, I think.
You know what? If he gets to 5 touchdowns in the regular season, I'll join Society X. You have
Remind
my
me what
word.
that is?
That's Dez's like
Oh,
It's a
his-
business project.
access to the luxury lifestyle thing.
It's
I
a
think.
lifestyle that you just wouldn't understand. Dylan.
Sounds like something you can't afford, David. Honestly.
Well, I know. Okay.
That's why you need Society X. Going from one quarterback, well, actually, we weren't talking about Jalen. One quarterback that someone's had opinions on to another. Baker's continuing to cook.
Dude, he looked good last night.
Very good. Like, he looked good in, like, did you see the touchdown pass he threw to, can't even think of his name, back of the end zone? He had
Yes.
wide open, like, tight end crossing right in front of the wide receiver. It was-
Joku?
No.
Yeah.
Joku might have been the tight end, but he threw the touchdown pass to not OBJ. I can't think of his name.
Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry. Thank you. And Jarvis Landry's like in draped coverage, back line of the end zone, incredible catch, incredible pass. And it would have been a flip basically to the tight end who was streaking in the same exact like vision point. Like, it was crazy.
And so OU has 3 starting quarterbacks in the league who are all playing really well, and not one of them started out at OU, which is
Not
interesting.
one of them. How many national titles they won with those 3?
Wow.
Whoa.
That's just-
Ouch.
The answer you're looking for, KJ, is 0.
That's not even a stray. Like, you had him cited.
Well, you know why they didn't. That's because the Jets lost a game yesterday, and the person who kept OU from winning national titles in those years, one Trevor Lawrence, is going to be a Jaguar. That's a stretch.
How stupid
That's
are
how I'm
the
getting back
Jets?
to the Jets.
You brought it there.
How do you win that game? Just lose the game.
Dude, no, this is
Lose
more on
the
the
game.
Rams. This is more on the Rams.
The Rams got embarrassed.
They,
How do you lose that game at
Lose
home?
the game.
they piss me off.
Why would you give away Trevor Lawrence like that? Just lose.
Sam Darnold, man, he wants to keep his job.
Look, I know some people say tanking's bad for the game. Sometimes tanking is absolutely what you need to do, and they should have lost that game. Absolutely.
Okay, I just don't want to absolve the Rams for just being just an absolute like low key dumpster fire.
If you want to lose a game, you can lose a game, and they should have picked losing over winning.
How do you lose that game at home? How do you
know.
do that? It's one thing if like this game was in New Jersey and it was a snowstorm and the Rams went
Things
west
happen.
to east, something happened. You just got whipped at home
It makes no sense.
by the Jets.
There were a couple bad picks by Goff earlier, at least one bad pick. And that was, I think you could say it was fluky. I can't remember the exact play. I'm mixing it up with the Oregon USC game, which was also another Southern California embarrassment. But they had multiple opportunities to come back in this game. And so there were, Robert Woods had like an end around that was like a 6-yard run or 4-yard run or something. There were opportunities or there were times in the game where you saw it and you're like, all right, well, that was cute. Jets are going to give this up. And it made the game interesting, which is kind of weird to see a team that hadn't won all year and you're like, oh shit, are they going to hold on here or not?
Am I an idiot, or did y'all realize like how average the Rams line was like against the run? Like,
their
obviously
D-line, yeah.
world class pass rush, but
They don't have any linebackers.
Frank Gore was just when Frank Gore's like kind of eating. He didn't have like a monster day, but like he was getting open.
Yep.
Like he was finding all the slots, and I guess they do have some injuries, but like that was inexcusable. I don't know. The Rams, who I boldly predicted would be a big threat in the NFC, they have disappointed.
I don't know if I have up to date. I guess I do here. Frank Gore, 3rd all time in rushing yards. He is, I'm not even going to try to do the math quick here, but about 800 yards behind Sweetness. So it's very likely if he comes back for another year. Oh, I shouldn't say very likely. It's doable
Possible.
for him to come back another year and be 2nd all time.
That's insane.
Ridiculous to me.
How old is he?
15 years in the league. Frank Gore is
Good.
as a running back too.
That's
Which is,
unheard of for a
that's the
running
part
back.
that's just dumb. They don't have his nickname, which I never heard of.
37.
Inconvenient Truth. 37
Oh.
years old.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
That's awesome.
Didn't they used to call you loose change?
And just
He's always been kind of doughy. I respected that in him.
And he's
He's thick.
balls.
and a reminder that Frank Gore Jr. is now in college.
Mm-hmm.
And
He
At the
could be
U?
draft eligible this year.
At the U?
So I think he's like a sophomore, junior.
no, he's not at the U. He's at Southern Miss. I see freshman.
Is he? Okay. I thought he was 1 or 2 years out. I know that him and LeBron are like approaching that threshold of could play in the league with their son, which is going to be dumb.
Is LeBron's kid even good enough for the league?
Yes. Well, I mean,
LeBron's kid's kid.
He's
and
on the
he will,
trajectory.
be picked by a team because LeBron's contract is synced to where he can go play with his kid.
Yeah, it raises the question, like, do you take Bronny number 1, even if he's not a top 10 player, because you
100
get a year with, his dad's coming to play with
I
him?
guess you're getting 40-year-old LeBron, so here we
Yeah.
are into fucking Stephen A. territory. But yes, the answer is yes.
People forget the Griffeys went deep in the same inning, father son.
I didn't know that.
Charlie Woods.
Or maybe it's the same game.
Also, it's like when the Mavs signed Giannis's brother to the practice squad. It's
Or
like-
hiring a coach and hoping that his players will follow.
yeah,
In high school, college.
that's
ranks.
right. The only thing I want to talk about from the Cowboy game is: are we convinced that Tony Pollard is a RB1? Because I mean, like I've been saying it. Like, not that I think he's better than Zeke this season, but are we going to see Zeke again this year?
Yes, for the same reasons you'll see Matt Ryan next year. But maybe, I guess you're saying, well, they shut him down based on yes, because they're in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
If they were out of the playoff hunt, you wouldn't see Zeke very much. To answer the Tony Pollard question, I'm curious of Dylan's opinion first. Do you think Tony Pollard could be RB1?
You can call him TP. That's what I call him.
I don't think he's better than Zeke right now. Even though he might be playing a little bit better.
Maybe not better, but just capable of carrying.
Is he capable of being an RB1 in general? Yeah, I think so. He's good.
Better hands.
Yeah.
He's a tier 3 starting running back. But he's just starting running back quality.
I would say outside of the Cowboys, yes. And when you look at teams like Washington, what they did with Antonio Gibson, who's absolutely talented and and phenomenal and dynamic, but you don't need the starting running back to be what the Cowboys think a starting running back is. Hell, the Jaguars have a rookie running back that's undrafted. Tim Robinson? No, that's an actor. I don't even know his first name.
Something Robinson. He's gone off this year.
And he's got like 1,400 yards. Like, he might be offensive rookie of the year if they ever won a game.
Running backs are a dime a dozen.
They
really are.
That's my point, I think. Micah?
I'm just mad at Jerry. I'm just mad at Jerry for giving Zeke all that money. I can't even talk about Tony Pollard. I don't care. Can we not talk about this team ever again?
Who is more likely to not be on their respective team? Carson Wentz or Zeke next year?
Carson Wentz. He's already putting feelers out that he wants to move.
Yeah.
Because of course Zeke doesn't want to go anywhere. He'll probably if he has a good year, Jerry will give him an extension.
His extension kicks in next year. So
sorry.
I didn't watch the ending of the game, so I know it got out of hand with the onside kick return and those things. Was this game close towards the later part? Like, were the Cowboys at risk of dropping this too?
Yeah, it was 17-17 in the second half, I believe. And yeah, it was. Look, they're finally getting bounces on defense. Like, they're turning the ball over, and it's like, man, it's really cool that you waited until week 15 or whatever. But
does that save Mike Nolan's job?
No, in my opinion, no. No, because dude, they are still absolutely lost. Jalen is. There's so many issues, and I don't know. They're not going to move Jalen. Jerry loves Jalen, so Mike Nolan's gone, I think. I'm done.
They put up they allowed 33 to the Niners with the worst backup quarterback I've ever seen in football. They stink.
Oh, Danucci.
You saw Ben Danucci.
You saw Danucci.
I would take the Nooch over the dudes the Niners run out when Jimmy G gets hurt. But whatever.
Jags started Jake Luton this year.
Okay, but I'd take Luton over the Nooch, I guess. Anyway, this team stinks.
You know what? Shout out Andy Dalton. He'll get paid next year. He'll land somewhere. He's made some sick throws. I'm happy for him.
Land somewhere in a starting role, you're saying?
No.
Oh.
But I mean, he'll get like a 2-year deal or something to go be a back. I would love that.
You don't think he stays in Dallas?
No. What? No, I think they sign Garrett Gilbert, cheaper backup option.
I think that they will offer Andy, and I think he would be wise to take the offer, but I think he ends up going, like, New England just makes too much sense. Either him or Fitzpatrick are going to New England. Like, they'll draft a quarterback, but I don't think they're going to start a rookie quarterback this year. They would have done that with Stidham if they wanted to ride that out. So I see them getting another free agent and then drafting somebody up there. Okay. That's where I see him. Steelers, Bengals, don't care. Steelers are going to roll.
Yeah.
A lot of fantasy implications, though.
That is very true.
Yeah, I'm not even going to watch because I know this is where I lose. So
I'm in a heartbreaking position myself this week.
Sorry.
Can I go off on my fantasy league real quick?
I'd love that.
I'm in 2 leagues. That's the rule. No more than 2. But anyway,
that's the right number.
Agreed.
3 is
I'm down
too many.
to 1 now.
One's not enough.
Yeah. So this one, I've been in this, to sound like Conor McGregor, I've been in this game since the 90s. Okay, I'm a fantasy guy. All right, I'm not afraid to admit I played a lot of fantasy over the years. Never missed a season. I've never had a year better than this one. I am 13-1 in this league. I've scored the most points. I've dominated. My only loss was by like a point when I had 3 players on bye.
Oh, there's a big butt coming, isn't there?
Oh, there's a big butt. Do you know what you get in this league for scoring? You know what the bonus is for scoring the most points each week? $0. Do you know what the bonus is for winning the regular season? $0. It all comes down to the playoffs,
And
in
you're
which
not doing it.
it's not looking great. I'm at like a 56% favorite, but I'm counting on the Pittsburgh defense, and I hate everything about it. And I want to raise hell, and I know the whole league is against me. It's like sort of a group of friends, and I'm sort of on the outside.
Are your playoff rounds 1 week or 2 weeks?
This is a 1-week league.
2-week leagues are just blows my mind when that happens because
we do 2
dominated somebody in week 1.
We do 2 week.
And then just absolutely
It rewards the better team.
I know. That's a baseball guy's mentality. I hear you.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
I just need to be good
Easton
one
Dorn
time.
over here.
My team could not be hotter right now, which is really unfortunate because I finished second in last place.
We do payouts for highest point total each week. We don't do a regular season. Otherwise, your boy would have made a decent amount of money.
Be nice.
But, yeah, goes up in flames tonight. I'm up against Big Ben and the Steelers defense. Not looking great.
You
Whatever.
think Micah
Nobody cares.
brought this up during the draft whenever these were decided on, or he's only bringing it up now because he's got a 56%.
No, I think
chance?
part of the reason everyone hates me in the group is also because I asked this question a week ago. Like, just a FYI, am I getting paid for winning this league?
Which friend group is this?
It's actually a bunch of Bobcats.
Mizzou journalists.
It's no, it is not. Trust me,
everybody?
trust me, the level of dialogue, discourse in this group chat is not up to my Missouri journalism school standards.
You're telling me some Texas State alums are a little bit.
They're still using language you probably shouldn't be using in 2020.
Okay.
Probably language you shouldn't use in like 2012.
Rhymes with raggedy.
Perhaps. And no, it's Coach Bobby's buddies, and somehow I'm in there.
say
Like
no
I'm
more.
I'm one removed, and so they hate me to begin with. And plus, I'm like 1%
Do they see
internet
your tweets?
famous.
They see
So-
your tweets and they're like, "Oh, this cock."
Basically, yeah.
This lib's always railing on Dan Crenshaw or whoever.
A lot of that.
Okay.
So it should be fun. Shouts to all the
I
fantasy players
personally
out
hope
there.
you win it just for the. I would love for you to stick it to the Bobcat Nation out there.
Oh, I'm going to go scorched earth if I win.
Shout out to Alex, who's losing to me this week and probably listening.
Shouts to Alex.
Hi, Alex. You want to talk college football? We could have done the entire podcast on this today,
Turn it
depending
up.
on how fired up everybody is.
Turn it up.
Turn it up.
We'll turn it up, KJ.
We've come to like the drop. I'm sorry.
New drops coming soon.
Whole new board in 2021. College football playoff is set. No real surprises here. Did y'all go into the Selection Sunday thinking anything other than this would happen, or just hopes?
No.
Just hopes. And it wasn't even like I really wanted.
What
I
were you
wasn't
hoping for?
super horny for A&M. I just wanted somebody different. I
So-
knew that they would get like smoked again by
A&M has one loss.
Yes.
To Bama,
Bama.
but
Right.
they also have beaten
Notre Dame has
Florida and Vandy.
one loss.
Yes. The Aggies lost by 28 to Bama.
Ohio State has
Ohio
5
State,
wins.
yeah. Clemson beat Notre Dame by 24 the second time, but Notre Dame beat them previously.
Yeah.
Which we accurately predicted would happen. We
The
were all
Aggies-
on.
Yeah,
we were all on
that
Clemson.
I mean,
for
the
that game.
Aggies can absolutely argue that their season has been more impressive than Ohio State's.
Yeah.
Being a one-loss SEC team is very impressive. SEC West team is very impressive. I don't think A&M beats Ohio State in a head-to-head matchup,
Absolutely not.
but they definitely have a reason to complain here.
The only team I want to see Alabama play outside of Clemson is Florida again. Like that was actually a fun game. Mm-hmm. Wait, Florida's a 2-loss team, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they lost A&M.
They lost. Yeah,
And
A&M
Georgia.
and Bama.
Or
Oh,
no,
shit.
and Bama.
Yeah. They're
Oh,
three
and they
losses.
lost LSU. Yeah, they're
So
trash.
LSU, A&M, and Bama.
Yeah.
That's it.
3-loss team.
Yes.
Still really good. Still made that a decent game.
Kyle Trask had a great season, and he's a very good player. I think people are sleeping on him, but it's weird to see. The one takeaway I had from that game is like it's weird to see Bama winning all of these big games, like 51-44 now. Like
Yeah.
this is what's happened the last 3 or 4 years for basically ever since Tua came in against Georgia. It's just been like Bama's going to put up 50, and like you're going to need to put up 51. And
Shout
it's
out
just kind of
to,
crazy the way Nick Saban is traditionally coached: defense first, shut people down, run the football. Like Bama's just saying, "Fuck it, we're going to score 1 million points."
Nothing was the same after the Lane Train.
It's true.
I think that's where things change for him. I mean, Steve Sarkisian has gotten himself a job. If he didn't already, it needs to happen. I mean, I don't want to belabor the Ohio State point. I think it's very clear what people have thought. They are an extremely talented team. Their quality, they've shown up every week when they've been asked to show up and played well. But I think USC, who I've talked a little bit about the last couple of weeks since they were undefeated, is a prime example. Sometimes you just got to go out there and give your players the opportunity to fuck it up. And Ohio State has not had as many opportunities as some of the other schools. So,
I am more upset about the likes of OU, pretty much just OU being ranked ahead of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That like the fourth team in, like it doesn't really matter just because they're going to get fed to Alabama. But yeah, stuff like that. It's just like, dude, Cincinnati had a sick year, man.
I'm not shocked at how close the American or the AAC title game was with Tulsa and Cincinnati. Tulsa Tulsa's defense was really good. They've got a guy on their defense, I can't recall his name, number 23. He's a linebacker, and he's an absolute stud. He'll be a first-round draft pick most likely. He plays all over the field. I would think of him as like a beefier, slightly slower Isaiah Simmons. Like whenever Clemson had Isaiah Simmons cooking and playing like safety and D-end, like this guy's playing D-end, linebacker, out in the flats and coverage quite a bit, and just makes plays all over the field. And kept things close with Cincinnati, but unfortunately, Tulsa needed their defense to not fucking jump off sides when it mattered, and they did. Bailed Cincy out of a 4th down, put them in field goal range, and it cost them the game. It was absolute nut kick for the Tulsa team. Nobody cares about Tulsa, I get that, but that's what kept Cincy, I think, down from being ranked above Oklahoma because they needed to go in there and dominate what most people would have thought was a lesser team in Tulsa.
Sure. And I was kind of disappointed with Oklahoma in the Big 12 title game because that game was over at halftime. It was like 24-7, and then they just did not show up in the second half.
You know who else was disappointed in that game?
Matt Campbell?
Matt fucking Campbell.
He didn't have a good time, did he?
No,
What's that guy's deal?
He's out here wilding.
Oh, man.
Why does he look like Zach De La Roca out there doing Bulls on Parade?
Oh, throw some dreads on him. I can see it.
He's a character, and I'm glad people like him are out there. Look, we got a lot of Iowa State listeners. We got love for y'all, but Matt Campbell, man.
What was he so fired up about?
He had 2 players, I want to say.
I couldn't read his lips. I was trying so hard.
They were trying to essentially go on 2, basically, a hard count, and they had players jump like multiple times, I think. And it drove him out.
Oh, he's yelling at his
They
own
got
team.
back.
Okay, I thought he was yelling at the rest for a minute.
The end got back, and it led to chaos. And
I like that guy, though.
He's intense. Is he your next coach at the University of Texas? Tell me that.
I would hate if they took a look at him. Yeah.
Worked out when they
Wouldn't
got
hate
Chizik. Or was that the other way around? Did Chizik go to Iowa State after Texas, I think?
I thought it was after.
Yeah, I think it was after.
Correct.
I would probably also like to equate the net gator of Matt Campbell of doing just as much work as the belt on Gary Patterson during a heated game.
Oh, man.
Like nothing gets moved more than Matt Campbell's net gator. He just was stretching the shit out of
Dude,
the
respect
thing
him for trying
every
to pull it up mid tirade on the sideline.
I love a
He
good
So
mid
many
tirade.
was
times.
giving it a real effort there.
Uncertain
You gotta appreciate
times, man.
it. Yeah.
What works harder, that gator or the young lady following Gary around with a sweat towel on the sideline?
The person who has to get the headset off of Saban at the end of a game.
Oh, we got some Dabo news.
We do have some
This is
Dabo.
hilarious.
there.
Wow. I saw the tweet. I'm not a huge Brett McMurphy fan, but he did report the coaches in the essentially Power 5 coaches that ranked Ohio State outside of the top 4, and he listed them out. Do you have the tweet or do you have the list? Because I know what Dabo's is. I don't have the others.
I know where he had Ohio State.
I know Gary Patterson was also one of them. Listed him outside of the top 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So we're back in on Gary P now?
Gary P listed Ohio State at number 5, I believe.
He should write a Texas country song about it
Again,
and record it, and never mind.
he'll do numbies. I'll pull it
He
up.
actually has look, Ohio State is not the 11th best team in the country, obviously, but he has a leg to stand on here with ranking them.
That would be
at
putting them
11.
behind like Coastal Carolina.
No,
you know what?
it's absurd.
Yeah,
I
that's-
love it.
But he's gonna. That's how he justifies. Like, oh, they only played 5 games. I don't know how good they are.
It's my favorite thing that Dabo's ever done, and I'm not a Dabo guy.
You would rank this over him, like doing the whip and nene?
Oh God, I thought you were gonna say beating COVID by taking his private jet to
Oh, jeez.
whatever that was.
So yeah, Dabo ranking Ohio State at 11 is comical, but I'm glad to see that there are coaches that are petty as bitches too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, 11. No one else had had Ohio State worse than 6.
Right.
Like, it's just
It's disrespectful.
and you know you're gonna play them. Like,
That's
why
what
would you?
makes it insane.
Why would you do this? It's. I mean, I dislike Dabo strongly, and I have no problem taking shots at him. But this is just so dumb. Like, this isn't even just like some sort of cunning asshole move. This is just like, I'm a dumb asshole.
You want
I
to hear
know.
Tom Herman's? Tom Herman has Herman has OU at 6, A&M at 5.
Ohio
Tom
State at 1.
Herman also has
I'm
Texas
sorry. I
at
was thinking Kirk
18
Herbert.
when they're actually ranked 24th. So one of the highest jumps there.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Herman, Ohio State at 3. Yeah.
I mentioned the USC lost to Oregon. It's so. Washington bowed out of the rest of the season due to COVID. So Oregon took their place in the Pac-12 title game. Oregon showed up and embarrassed Slovis, who I mixed him up with JT Daniels the other week. Like 2 interceptions that were really, really nice, like out in the flat early in the game, and USC could never catch up. But now Oregon wins the conference championship.
Hell yes.
Like, it's a prime example of, USC would have been in the Fiesta Bowl or Rose Bowl or whatever bowl, not Rose Bowl because that's college football playoff, but they would have been better off just not playing, taking the regular season victory and moving on.
Oh, for sure.
It's sad.
Also, wait, who's in which Rose Bowl game is it?
The Rose Bowl was the one that Brian Kelly was bitching about, saying that players will boycott if you don't open up your stadium to friends and family. And so that will be Notre Dame and
Bama.
Yes, and that game has been
It's in
moved to Arlington.
Texas.
it's been moved to Arlington.
But-
That's where I was going. So he's going to
Let's just get on Brian Kelly.
let's talk
The
Brian
fucking
Kelly.
audacity of him to come out and say that we may not go if our parents can't come to the game. What? We're living in a global pandemic here, Brian Kelly. Ongoing. This is preposterous. Like, it's not my place to say what the rules and regulations in California, if they're right or wrong, because I don't live in California. But like, to come out and be like, no, we're out. If our parents can't come, get the fuck out of here. And I would say if that university had a president who had any leg to stand on, he could come out and discipline Brian Kelly. But we know that president is problematic when it comes to COVID. We'll just say that.
President's got antibodies. We'll just say that.
Well, that's true too.
He also has a thing about rose gardens too.
Lord.
Wait, who's the president?
He was at the Amy Cohen Barrett.
Yes.
Yeah, he got
confirmation
COVID too.
and got COVID
and then he was the one that put out a letter to the
Rose.
students saying, like, if they leave campus, they won't be able to reapply for next year or whatever it was to register for classes.
Tried to lock
Get
in
out of
something.
here. I mean, I dislike Texas A&M strongly, and I'm glad that they're not in the playoff. But I could not be more excited to see Bama beat Notre Dame by 6 or 7 touchdowns. Get out of here, Domers. Come at me, and you're all trash.
Wow.
Oh wow.
He
somewhat
tossed
through
the
the
mic,
mic
too.
I mean, it's still connected.
It
to
moved
the thing.
I don't have anything else to say. I will say I was wrong. I'll pull a mic and say I don't have anything else to say and then say something. I was wrong. I didn't think Brian Kelly would get his way. He got his way. But, fuck me. They'll lose, like Micah said.
You didn't think Notre Dame was making it?
No. I didn't think that they would get this change made. I
Oh,
thought it was complete
I see.
bullshit. Like,
Is that why they?
I don't know. And there was also discussion about this game
he
originally.
started the fire.
The SEC wanted to move this game to Atlanta because, like, why assuming they were going to play like Clemson or somebody on the East Coast,
Yeah.
why would we move 2 East Coast teams to the West Coast during COVID?
Because the place in the West Coast is paying the bill. Like, the people that organize these bowls, like, and solicit these advertisers, that's where the money comes from. Like, this is some Kyrie. I'll get to Kyrie Irving. This is some Kyrie type bullshit where you're like, oh, hand that feeds me, fuck it. I want to go by my rules. We're the talent. I'm like, yeah, but you don't see Division II showing up and calling the shots because the money ain't there.
And the only other thing that I'll say here is whenever people talk about this, they go, oh, the NCAA has lost all control, all credibility. The NCAA has nothing to do with the bowl games.
Right.
Like, the bowl games are run by ESPN, 90% of them, basically.
Right.
And so, like, I'd love to make fun of the NCAA too, but they've already given up on trying to police college football. It's a strange circumstance.
Do a little college football news.
Oh,
Yes.
the only other college football note before we move on to news. Did you guys see the tweet? And I think it was a female reporter who asked this on the CFP press conference. Like, why do we even play the games if you're just going to take the team? If Ohio State can get in with 5 wins because they were ranked highly to start the season, and a team like Cincinnati or Coastal or whatever goes undefeated, like, well, why are they even playing? What's the point?
That's been a problem for college football.
It's
for a very long
nihilistic,
time.
but I do like the take. Yeah, and if you look at since college football playoff has come into effect, Bama, Clemson, Ohio State have been there basically every year. Like, it's not a
Well, the system is inherently flawed when a team can set out and accomplish their goal of winning every game that's on their schedule and not have a chance to play for a championship. And that's been a problem for college football for a very long time.
I think we just need to get Condi back in there.
She was the guest picker last week.
I'm down with them not doing guest pickers anymore if it's going to be via Zoom call. It's so bad.
You need McConaughey on stage.
Yes, the delay is just so awkward, and Corso. Oh, it's bad.
They
It's
kicked to
bad.
Corso, and he was like cutting a commercial by himself, like in the middle of the segment. I just kick it to college football notes here. Illinois fired Lovie Smith, hired Brent Bielema. I don't know how to say his name.
Bielema.
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 That is how you say it. Wisconsin's old coach, Arkansas's old coach. He was on staff both in Bama and with the Patriots. So, I'm happy he's getting another run. I don't claim University of Illinois by any means, but I will be happy to see another team that's like a lower tier big conference team be competitive if they can be. Hadn't worked for Nebraska, but we'll see what happens for Illinois.
I was doing a little research on Bielema because I was like, man, his post-Wisconsin career at Arkansas, like obviously wasn't great, but looking at it a little bit more, no one's been good at Arkansas. Like he actually was, he wasn't decent, but for Arkansas, for what they were during that period of time in the SEC, like wasn't awful.
He was
Not since
okay the
Run
first
DMC.
couple years there. It was sort of a gradual
3 straight
fall.
Rose Bowls with Wisconsin too.
Yeah. He's a generally unlikable human being.
He doesn't look,
He had a very attractive wife for a while, but she left him. And
well,
but the most interesting thing to me about this is that Illinois gave him a 6-year deal with a starting salary of $4.2 million. That's big boy money.
We got bank in Central Illinois.
he's been in the analytics shed with McCarthy.
Yeah, he spent the last 3 years as an NFL
Biggest
assistant. The
donor
Giants and Pats.
/ alumni from University of Illinois. Shahid Khan, owner of
Oh, you're Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow, it always comes back to the Jags.
Always comes back to the Jags. Auburn, absolute shit show of a coaching search if I've ever seen one. They've taken the step that I love every time. They've retained a search firm. Not me, not my firm. But they've retained somebody to find them a coach, and nobody fucking wants this job.
Is that weird that that's a thing?
What, search firms finding coach jobs? Yes, in the sense that it's only going to come down to nepotism. But no, in the sense that, like, the way that some college contracts are written, like, you can't just pick up the phone and say, hey, Nick Saban, do you want to come coach at Texas? This is Joe Lewis, the HR director for Texas. Like, you usually have to have some sort of go-between who, like, feels them out, because then what happens is, oh, Texas tried to hire Saban and got declined. Like, what's happening to Auburn is why you hire a search firm, because then that search firm can go behind and call anybody they want to, feel them out, and it's never has to be known that they got reached out
so
to.
it sort of serves as a buffer to keep you
And
interesting.
it
Middleman.
keeps
Think of it
things
like that.
keeps things under the table too.
I'm so fucking sick
So
of
Texas
middlemen.
can claim like, oh, we never pursued Saban because then they never got rejected,
Correct.
quote unquote,
There's
rejected by Saban.
if you're a state university, like, all of your stuff can become public,
Yeah.
with the right FISA request.
Huh.
So
And, I mean, I think it's also when you are an administrator at a big college and no one holds you accountable to the way you spend money, you can just hire your friends who are consultants and give them lots of money, and then they make the hire. And maybe that gives you a little cover if that consultant makes a bad hire. You go, well, I didn't make the hire. Next time, as the athletic director, next time I'm going to make the hire on my own. It gives you...
And I'd say like 90% of people in those positions were likely hired or recruited by some shape or form of a firm. Like, you go to the Dell Children's Hospital here in town, like, I know the people who hired all those doctors. Like, it's just the way universities work, because they don't have the fucking wherewithal to do it themselves. But anyhow, Billy Napier, coach of University of Louisiana Lafayette. Great coach, has done really well. He said, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay at
down
University
Auburn.
of Louisiana.
Why does nobody want Auburn right now?
Because you're going to lose to Saban and get fired in 3 years?
Yeah, but you're gonna get a 5x pay bump.
True. I'm shocked that it hasn't happened by now. There must be a power struggle internally that Hugh Freeze is the guy and that people aren't just not unclutching their pearls to let Auburn hire him. Like that's my gut feeling, because they think he's going to call strippers and call girls again.
Right.
Come
Which he's
on.
been known to do.
Just let freeze.
Interesting.
Any other college football notes?
No.
We do have to mention that two friends of the show, well, two people that I really like, Charlie Brewer and Jaquindon Jackson.
Oh, Utah. What the fuck?
What's going on in Utah?
David, you tell us.
I don't know.
Markedly, who we would say are the number two, the top two quarterbacks that we would tie to the David Ruff starter kit in the sports world are going to Utah.
Charlie Brewer, of course, former Baylor quarterback on his grad transfer, and Jaquindon Jackson, former Duncanville quarterback, unstoppable force in high school. Longhorn, did not see the field, announced he was entering the transfer portal last week. And
I don't think anything to do with that. And
Just
more
like-
so the uncertainty of the program.
Sure.
Probably.
Sure, and everybody, if you read the Longhorn people, it's like, what's the kid's name? Hudson
Card.
He's the guy, apparently. He can really spin it.
Which is great for me to hear, but I don't know much about the kid.
Longview, Texas kid.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I did call it. I've been saying for months, like, Jaquindon's gonna transfer to Utah, and like everybody's like, no, it's gonna be SMU, and I'm like, no, it's definitely not, man. No, this is a shock. I thought it was definitely SMU. It's
wouldn't have
his
seen this.
hometown. But no, he is going. You know what? I'm happy for him to get out of the state, kind of get away from everything, get a fresh start. But they also have Cam Rising on their roster. The
It's a
Longhorn.
good book. My bad. I don't know.
Okay. Does nobody know Cam Rising?
No. Who the hell's Cam Rising?
Sounds like
Is
a
he
whole
Duncanville guy?
No, he was a Longhorn commit. Pro style quarterback. Cameron Rising.
Again, sounds like
Dude,
a sci-fi
everybody
book.
Okay, I swear I'm not making this up.
Dude, I'm on orangebloods.com anymore. Give me a break.
Well, everybody who was texting me about it, like, dude, what's he doing? They got Cam Rising. Everybody was acting like Cam Rising is this known quality. I wasn't that
I don't know
familiar
who
with
that
him.
is.
I had to go back and look. I forgot that he was ever even associated with the Longhorns. But not important.
Well,
Just
who could imagine there was a quarterback who signed with the University of Texas and didn't end his career there?
Yeah.
That hasn't happened often. Shouts to everybody going to Utah and getting a good soak in.
Yes.
Indeed. It's soak
They
season.
love a good
It
soak
all
up there.
comes back to the soak. All right, quick
'Cause it
dips,
doesn't
very
count
quick.
if you're not moving it back.
That's
and
what I
forth.
heard.
Let's do some extremely quick dips. Kyrie burning sage.
This was in the pregame of the final exhibition game of Brooklyn playing at Boston. And Kyrie's walking around in the TD Ameritrade Center. I think that's what they call it.
TD Garden,
TD Garden.
whatever it is.
Ameritrade is elsewhere.
TD, don't say titty.
But walking around burning sage as, I don't know, someone with like an Eat, Pray, Love sign
Was
would.
there some like legitimate bad blood between the Celtics and Kyrie, or is he just being like super dramatic about
I think it's
everything
all
these
front
days?
office.
Between Kyrie and Kyrie, I think, is the issue.
Is he just
But
like
they all greeted him like they loved him.
is he just conjuring up drama just all on his own here?
Yes.
His
the whole
last
LeBron
week-
He's
quote,
such a turd.
Then that really deep comment he gave the other day about whatever it was.
Well,
What-
he is
what
an
he did-
artist.
when he didn't want to meet with the media and he wanted the statement to speak for
He
him.
quoted Malcolm X.
And then, of course, I mean, in his defense, then ESPN, all they did was report that he only gave a statement and nothing in the statement.
Right,
so I thought
right.
that was a good little cat and mouse. But then following that, he basically said that he doesn't speak to pawns. He was ready for his game to speak for itself. And like
Correct.
that is the part where he lost me.
Well,
You know?
two things. He said on the burning sage that it comes from a lot of native tribes. Said he did before the last game in Boston, and he plans to do it before every game if he's allowed. All about cleansing energy. Something tells me that no one's going to allow him to burn sage in a visiting arena ever
Not in this
again.
climate.
And then on his I'm going to just put out a statement because I don't talk to pawn stuff. Did you guys see what Charles said about this?
Oh, yeah.
I did not.
Because Barkley got after him, and it was fantastic. He said, I want you – he says that a lot of times Kyrie's like, I want you guys to know I'm the smartest guy in the room. Well, first of all, because Chuck says first of all the time, you're not. You only went to college for 6 months. A lot of guys are smarter than you are. Just answer stupid basketball questions. If you want to say something about social justice, say it and mean it because it's important and significant. But the other stuff, like, yo, man, shut the hell up and talk basketball. It's great.
It's I don't like punctuating it with the stick to sports or shut up and dribble part, but I think it's fair to take shots at him and be like, you're not the smartest guy in the room, for sure. So
You only went to college for 6 months. I love that.
That's insulting.
I mean, he probably learned more at Duke in 6 months than Charles did in 3 years at Auburn, but that's a whole nother story.
There's no way he went to class at Auburn.
not about gambling. NBA tips off on Wednesday. More importantly, we do have Christmas Day games on Friday, which I will pull up the rundown of those.
Well, we know who primetime is.
Yes.
We got Luka, LeBron, got Mavs, Lakers.
How
7
H are you?
o'clock. It hasn't set in. Like I'm giddy about it. Like thinking about it, but it's just like the Mavs are going to be playing on Christmas for the foreseeable future, as long as Luka sticks around. And for them to get the primetime game, like for the first time, like against LeBron, the defending champs, it's insane. I'm very happy. It gives me something to look forward to on Christmas Day. Mixes it up. Hopefully the Mavs don't ruin Christmas.
Do you
like
have
the
nothing else to
Cowboys.
look forward to on Christmas Day?
Right, exactly. Except for the love of friends and family. But, we'll see. Because the Cowboys have already ruined Thanksgiving for everyone. Hopefully the Mavs don't do that with Christmas. It's tough.
Christmas Day schedule. We have Zion versus the defending Eastern Conference champions, Miami Heat, kicking off the day at 11 Central.
Okay.
I'm interested
I'll have
to
it on
see
the
what
background.
That's on the background.
full power Zion looks like. Who did they get as a coach? Or is the same guys? Alvin Gentry's gone.
They fired Alvin.
Yeah, he's an assistant somewhere.
They have one of the Van Gundys.
Yes.
Stan.
Not
Oh,
Mike.
yeah.
We kept Mike in the booth.
Van Gundy.
Sadly, Jeff's in the booth.
Return of Steph Curry. We've been watching Seth for the last year. He will be playing in Milwaukee, the $200 million man. We didn't mention that Giannis got paid.
Oh, congrats, man. Hope you enjoyed up there.
That's on in the background.
That's background. With no Clay, just not sexy.
Warriors Bucks. But, I mean, I don't know if DeMond or – wow, why can't I think
Draymond?
of Draymond.
You're looking for?
Jeez. Draymond. I always get that wrong. Draymond's going to be playing or not. He's a little bit banged up too. Brooklyn Celtics again on Friday.
Do we have KD and Kyrie both healthy?
Oh, yeah.
100.
Okay, I'm in on that. Just
And
to watch
Steve
that
Nash
mess.
is apparently just he's gonna be wearing not cleats but just basketball shoes on the sideline.
And Mike D'Antoni weirdly also on the sideline.
Correct.
Okay.
That's gonna be a weird fucking
That
team.
dynamic is insane. There will be books written on it.
Then
I'm
you
excited.
have in prime fucking time, as David said, Luka, LeBron, 7 p.m. Christmas night.
All in.
And then to wrap up the night, I think what will probably be the closest and most exciting game, as we saw in the bubble, Nuggets are absolutely entertaining when they play. Nuggets and Clippers. So you have Ty Lue and Jamal Murray
Yeah.
going at it. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously,
I didn't
Ty Lue's
realize-
not playing, but yes.
I didn't realize that there's a game after the Mavs. I feel slighted a little
West
bit. but
West Coast game. Well,
fine.
that's late night.
That's fine. Gives me
You're no
something-
longer the main event, Dave.
Damn.
I would still
say you're the
7
main
p.m. is
event.
the main event. Yeah.
Thank you.
Because otherwise, they would have given the Lakers a late night if they thought that was the case. So, yeah, it is a fun slate of games. What else we got?
College hoops.
Yes, I threw this in a group text and then followed through by watching none of it. But I do think it's notable to say that Gonzaga did beat Iowa as a 1-3 last week. I'm trying to keep an eye out for more college basketball because I don't have a team I follow as closely. SMU is doing really well. I think they're still undefeated, but hasn't really played anybody. Gonzaga, Iowa was a good game from the highlights I saw, but I'm not going to claim like I know everything. Michigan State did drop a game to like unranked Dayton or some shit. though.
Welcome my Texas Longhorns to the top 10. How
That's
about that?
exciting. That's exciting for the pod and the Big 12.
I'm weirdly like watching a few games here and there, which has been years since I've done that.
I should know this. Are they allowing fans?
Very limited.
Okay.
Yeah, very limited.
Those
Whole
games are
squad's
fun.
not going to the drum, unfortunately.
Okay.
When is that new arena? Have they broken ground on that one
Yeah.
yet? Have
I
they?
don't think it's next year. I think it's 2
I
years
think it's
away.
gonna be.
I could be wrong,
slick,
though.
man.
Yeah, should be nice.
Baylor, of course, still at 2. I haven't watched enough of them because the games that I've been ready to watch have been canceled.
They
have
have. They missed a bunch. They had a couple
Yeah.
games get canceled. Yeah.
So
With college, like they cancel like in packs of 3 since of their schedules,
Right.
like 2 games or whatever,
Right.
or whatnot. I don't know how amped I'm going to be for March Madness when it comes around, but I am certainly going to be invested in like keeping up with as many games as I can right now because I have a feeling when we get to tournaments, there's going to be some sort of fuckery that takes out some of the fun that we used to have. Like, they're going to do like miniature bubbles and the games are just going to be weird. I hope they do it like high school basketball tournaments were. Not that I played in any, but where you've got like the team sitting up in the bleachers watching the other games, but they're all in like their warm-ups, just hanging out, fucking eating popcorn and texting the whole time.
That was the most
booing the
fun
shit
part
out
of
of each
AAU
other.
tournaments. Yeah, I played a little AAU ball, 8th grade. What's up?
Big Duncanville Fieldhouse guy.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's crazy that I didn't make the 9th grade team.
Are we gonna
Randy like that.
we're
I
gonna
don't
get-
like. I don't like how much.
This is
Randy,
where we get an Oak Cliff Baptist shout out.
Oh, OCBF. That was
Yes.
baseball. Good God, ended my career on the mound like in 2 innings. I got shelled, Dylan. Absolutely shelled.
That doesn't surprise
Bad
me.
on the ball every
That
time.
doesn't surprise me, David.
I could not get it past them.
God, I would have ripped your shit.
Oh God, no. They trust me. It was demoralizing. Shout out Keys Park though.
I knew Micah would go straight to the running back with what I just said.
All right. It's been a minute since a combat sports minute.
There was a lot of combat sports, and man, as much as I hate Canelo, he's worth talking about. He's really good. He's the best pound per pound fighter in the world, and fought a dude who was about 5 inches taller than him. Actually, maybe more than that. Callum, I believe he's an Englishman, and just did everything he wanted. The guy had 6 inches on reach over Canelo, and Canelo just walked him down. It was demoralizing. Dude held up pretty well. Didn't get knocked down. Has never been knocked down, but Canelo scares me. Triple G won the night before. I don't know if anybody watched that.
Guys, grocery games.
Guys, grocery games. Nobody knows. Dude, Triple G's stock has fallen so hard, man. Nobody cares about him anymore. I didn't even know he was fighting till Friday, which is sad because I used to be the biggest Triple G homer. But he got a dub, finished in the 5th round, I think, and I don't know. He's 38.
Do you want to see Triple G
No.
Canelo 3?
I don't, because it's just not fair to him. Everybody thinks that he won the first fight. It was not a split decision. He probably there's an argument that the second fight was close, but he probably lost that one to Canelo. I don't want to see a third one because I think it'll be pretty one-sided for Canelo.
Is that what buried Triple G's career? Is those 2 losses, basically?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, so the first fight was a split decision, and everybody's like, dude, he got robbed.
Canelo got beat.
Yeah. The second fight, after he lost to Canelo, that was it. And then he had a fight against Danny Jacobs that he was close. He got a decision. It was a favorable decision. He hasn't been knocking dudes out like he used to. And that was the draw with him because he was just freaky power at that size. But, other than that, we had UFC card. My dude Jeff Neal got beat by Wonder Boy. I was very upset about that. Jeff Neal, of course, was working at like Texas Roadhouse and fighting in the UFC, and then had congestive heart failure like 3 months ago. Was in the hospital, ICU for a week. Came back, fought. Wonder Boy beats a lot of people. He's a really hard guy. He's a karate guy. So wasn't a terrible loss. He'll come back from it, but that was upsetting. But that is my combat sports minute, unless you got anything, Micah.
I don't. I too don't want to see Canelo Triple G, but I would imagine we're going to see it. I would rather see that than Triple G versus one of the Paul brothers. So
The Triple G's
those
not
are the only
fighting
fights
Paul.
people are talking about
First
at
of all,
this
Triple
point.
G can't. He doesn't know how to talk shit. I mean, he's from Kazakhstan. He doesn't have that great of a grasp of the language. It would be the most boring lead up.
The
to
Paul
a
brothers
fight.
would be doing so many Borat bits.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
it would just be would be so much.
I see here we've got a baseball tweet.
Yeah, Randy, can you pull this up for me? There was a tweet from Jeff Passan, the baseball writer, and I just want to share this with you guys. I'll read it out loud. I've been saving this antidote for a story. I can't say that word. But screw it. Too good to squirrel away. Someone suggested Rays pitcher Tyler Glasnow try and get angry before starts. To do this, he would look at pictures of one person. He pulled out his phone and showed me. It was Martin Shkreli.
Was it this photo?
I hope
Because
so.
I am now angry. I want to go another hour.
gosh.
I want to go in on the college football playoff now. after
He is
seeing
very
this.
hateable, very punchable.
Is this before
Okay.
like the?
I'd like to see him fight a Paul brother.
I don't know if he wants that smoke.
Apparently very kissable though.
Yes.
Is this before or after Martin Shkreli's here? Let the bass drop.
It's a DJ joke. Wow.
Okay.
How did you make that joke and no one made it on circling back?
What a little
Unbelievable.
twerp this kid is.
He must have some game, though.
So this has got to be true. No one would make this up.
I mean, Tyler Glasnow, for those who don't recognize the name off bat, is the guy that says the hottest guy in baseball.
He's very tall.
6'7", absolute smoke show of a unit,
Yeah.
And hates Martin Shkreli.
and apparently hates the right men.
He hates it when people jack up the price of life-saving drugs by like 5,000% overnight.
Most people hate
And
that.
He
keep-
really cannot stand that.
Keep Wu-Tang's album from him.
Keeps Wu-Tang the Wu-Tang album for himself.
He just wants to be a villain. Like that's all this is.
He also stole a man's wife, but that's a whole nother.
He just wants to be a
Whole
villain.
nother
Are we
thing.
sure Tyler wasn't an investor that was defrauded by Shkreli? Like, and that's what this
It
really
could be.
Because, I mean, no one defrauds investors quite like Martin Shkreli.
How have we not got a love child between him and that one chick with the deep voice?
Elizabeth Holmes?
Yes.
Ooh, I'd pay to see that. That's not what I meant. But
Holmes.
Which
Holmes.
part? Hey, guys.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Hey, Martin, we're going to jack up the cost of that drug.
Name another sports pod that's doing
She does have an incredible...
Elizabeth Holmes and
It's a
Martin
fake-
Shkreli
and it's a fake-
fanfic.
It's a fake deep
ASMR.
voice.
I don't think it is.
No,
I think
it's
she's just socially awkward.
No, I think she puts it on. She talks like she just
Elizabeth
got
Holmes.
stuck in the stomach by like a triple G liver
did
shot.
you guys talk about how the author that fell in love with Martin
Spiraling.
Shkreli, like, has parlayed this into a spread in Elle magazine?
Really?
Well,
Yeah, I
the
think that would be
thing was
Hustler.
published in Elle, but like there's like 5 or 6 just like shots of her.
They usually don't show that in L.
Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, what the L?
She's all over Twitter.
She had less
that's gonna be a
followers than me
headline
as
on
of
fucking
yesterday,
BuzzFeed.
but things
She-
could change.
She won the internet today, ma'am.
This is like being fair. This is being Farrah Fawcett on Michael Jackson's death day.
You're right.
That's what's happening right
that
now.
is that
Wait, I
makes
missed
so
that.
much sense.
Farrah Fawcett died the same day Michael Jackson died.
Nobody
So,
remembers
of course,
that.
nobody cared
Oh
about Farrah
gosh, I
Fawcett
didn't know.
passing.
I didn't know that.
Exactly.
She's been dead for many years, Dylan.
Well, I knew she was dead.
Michael
I
Jackson
just
dead.
forgot all
age
about
50. Only other note, and it's not worth bringing back up, but do we have the other photo? I forgot to even mention that. Very niche and really for Dallas fans only, but Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson, point guard out of Villanova, shout out to Jay of the Day, had a little bet going on. I believe it was about the Cowboys-Eagles, if I'm correct. The loser had to wear a jersey of the other's team. And this is when Jalen went on Twitter and said that your favorite player, referring to Luka, didn't know who T.O. was whenever he brought it up to him. Luka said, "Don't worry, I'll make you a custom one." So he made a jersey that said Luka's son.
That is just. You'd love to see this.
That's good.
The guy's
that's good
having
old fashioned.
Fucking Jalen like goes all Unabomber with the look to make sure his
I love that.
Google look isn't marred or
He-
Google Photos isn't marred forever.
He should auction this jersey off for charity because he could get $20,000 for this jersey.
No,
I would buy this jersey for $20.
I buy it for 2,000 yen.
I would give like 1/100th of a Bitcoin for this jersey.
I'll flip the Xbox I purchased today and use some of those proceeds to bet on a portion of this jersey.
Okay,
But I won't. But I won't do that.
I'll one up you. I'll go back home and I'll open up my Pog binder and I will take my 3 favorite Pogs for this jersey.
I will use all of your stimulus checks on this jersey.
Your Chuck E. Cheese coins.
All right, let's run it back.
You want to run it back? Let's run it back.
Let's run it back. A segment in which we talk about what we've already talked about, and we started 18 minutes late today. A reminder that KJ has superpowers today, and he got an Xbox. The Texans' misery brings Dylan a lot of holiday joy. The whole squad is happy for Dez. Throw up the X for Dippy. Dylan thinks Dave can't afford Society X.
Sorry,
No idea.
I'm sorry.
Big news, there are new drops coming soon. Nothing was the same after the Lane Train. Matt Campbell out here looking like Zach De La Rocca. The Domers are all trash, that according to me. Condi Rice is the answer to every issue facing college football. Brett Bielema had a hot wife, but she left him. Dave is so fucking sick of the middleman. It doesn't count if you're not rubbing it back and forth.
I don't even know
missed
what that was
that.
about.
That was about,
That was about
soaking.
soaking. I didn't
Yeah.
say rubbing, but
What? Oh, sorry.
either way, we get it.
Why don't you say it though?
Freudian.
It's crazy that Dave didn't make the 9th grade hoops team. God, Dorn would have ripped Dave's shit back in the day.
What's your deal,
dude?
And Martin Shkreli is both very punchable and kissable.
Smelled like chicken wings, is what she said in the interview.
Weirdly, that is what she said.
The room smelled like chicken wings.
Got Lou
seems very
Williams
lost.
interests.
Oh, what an electric run it back segment. After you were like, oh, I forgot, didn't want to do it. Look at that.
So many sports. End of the year. We did well.
I'm about to pee myself.
We'll see you also in this year because next Monday is in 2020 as well.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Great.
not next year yet.
One last Monday
Yeah.
this shitty year.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Jeez. Well, guys, Merry Dipmas. To
Merry
all of you
Dipmas.
at home, thank you for your ongoing support of Too Much Dip Nation. Dylan, I'm going to keep talking, so you have to hold it even longer.
Have a happy Chinooka.
I have no problem
I know
getting
it's
up
over.
and walking out of here.
Toodaloo.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Give me a second to find the right music.
I want my chips with the dip. That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
When my team wins a big game, it's good.